Today's official launch comes in a different style as compared to our traditional way of launching. So the next program says introduction. Of course, civic and voter education is a traditional activity by the NEC. Every time we have elections, we take our time to educate our people, electorate, especially first-time voters, voters with disability, and of course female voters. So it's a tradition that we go around the country through our gender mobilizers, through our civic educators, and the aim and objective is to make sure that we motivate, educate, and sensitize our voters to turn out and make a choice. For this 2020 special senatorial election and the constitutional referendum, we are having a voter roll update. So the civic and education section will be coming out in the communities through individual conversation with people, through radio, through town hall meetings. So this is the time we take to launch that very important aspect of the election. So it is a civic duty. We don't own it alone, but we try in our weak way as a commission, mandated by the Constitution, to do our best to educate all of us, especially our first-time voters. So without much ado, I want to call on or turn the platform over to the chairperson of the National Elections Commission of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Brown, who will make a special statement to launch this year's voter roll update civic education.
Good afternoon, my colleagues, members of the Board of Commissioners, National Elections Commission, CBE partners, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. In accordance with Article 80C of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia and Section 3.1A of the new elections law, the Commission will in September of this year conduct the voter roll update exercise in preparation for the 8th December special senatorial elections and referendum. In pursuance thereof, we have assembled again for the launch of another civic and voter education outreach. This occasion is an integral part of the electoral process because it marks the beginning of the CBE activities across the country. Let me emphasize that the voter roll update exercise is not a new voter registration. The update is intended to capture Liberians in the following categories: those who did not register during the 2017 voters registration, first-time voters, those who have attained the age of 18 or above since the 2017 registration, those who have moved, relocated, and wish to be captured under a new voting precinct, and those who misplaced or damaged their 2017 voters' cards. If you are registered with the NEC in 2017 and there is nothing wrong with your card, you have not moved, changed your electoral district, or legally changed your name, this exercise will not apply to you. The voter roll update will be conducted in 2,080 centers for precincts across the country and will run for 15 days. Now, from September 11th to the 25th, There will be several teams of voter roll update personnel, and each will travel to assigned centers, remain there for 3 days to conduct the VRU, and then move to another update center within the same county to continue the exercise. To ensure Liberians are informed about the update exercise, the Commission has recruited, trained, and will deploy 146 civic educators and 146 gender mobilizers across the country. The outreach will include the distribution of posters, flyers, banners, and the use of town criers. The Commission has also accredited and certificated over 300 civil society organizations, community-based organizations, and faith-based organizations that have expressed the desire to assist the Commission in the civic education outreach exercise. On this note, and on behalf of the National Elections Commission, I hereby declare the civic voter education activities for the 2020 voter roll update duly launched. Thank you.
So, the chairperson, officially, the civic voter education has been launched for the VRU. So, we want to take a few words from the Commissioner of Oversight on CVE, Commissioner R.C. Leo Campbell.
Madam Chairperson, distinguished member of the board, our CSO, our international partners, members of the press, our Liberian people. The launching of the CVE for VRU, or voter registration update, mark a significant goal to the December 8, 2020 election. And in this light, we want to encourage all of our people, both political parties and civil society organizations, faith-based organizations. This is the time that each one, that those criteria set out for the VRU update will be a year too. Those who have turned new, who have attained the age of 18, who will be registered during the 2017 voter roll, those who want to change their location, those who have misplaced or damaged their car, this is the time. Knowing the VR update from September 11 to the 25th. Again, we want to encourage our Liberian people that the leadership of the National Elections Commission will be very firm that if you do not update your particular during the VR process, which you have had the opportunity to do not believe the National Elections Commission for reform. We want to encourage all of us to go forth now to spread the message across the country. We will be using local radio stations to carry on our CVE works, in addition to the civic voter educators and the general mobilizers. I want to say thank you. God bless our Lord Justice Bureau.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Commissioner Kwamba. So, at this point, we now call on the Director of CVE to just say thank you to all of us, and from there we'll have refreshment. Thank you so much, and we say thanks to Air Force Radio, Liberians across the region, our paradise, Okay, before we close, in the media, our questions, and the audience, the commissioners, led by the chairperson, is willing to respond. Any questions? You come out, call your name, probably institution. At most 4. Do we have any inquiry? Something that you want to get clarity? Yeah. Please come. Yeah, come forward. Just call your name, probably the institution.
I'm Roberta Esperman, founder and executive director for the Women and Children in Action Development Incorporated, working for civil society organization. My question has to do with the referendum, because I heard from the Commissioner Robert that there will be a referendum. For what I want to gather, is that what is it going to be like? Because there is a misunderstanding. There are some rumors that are going around. So for the betterment of our people to be able to relay information, what is it that is going to be done so that it can come down to the level of our people, even in the villages, so that we can be able to get the necessary information that is due or required of them, so that they understand it to the letter.
Thank you. My name is Waka Dike, and I chair the referendum committee and as well as the SSE. I really would love to hear the rumors going around so that maybe I can specifically speak to them. Ma'am? I would have loved to hear. You said there are rumors going around.
Other questions?
Good, but what we will do, like all elections, we do the CVE, that will be part of it. We will go around again to ask people to help us get symbols for the questions. We will be in the community, we will hold some consultation, at least 2 of them, to discuss both the SSE and the referendum. We are hoping that we will also be certificate accredited some people, some CSO and CBOs and other people who will help us do that. The gender organizers will be there, and the voter educators will all be there. And we'll be able, these are the things we do. But you see, we have timeline, and we'll be able to follow the timeline to do these things. I don't know if I answered your question, but there may be any of the commissioners who want to add something. But the rumors are very lawful, because sometimes it's good to hear it and respond to it specifically. Thank you.
Okay.
Good afternoon to all. Well, my name is Namara Fufara, National Chairman of the Independent Forum for the Protection of Democracy in Liberia, Incorporated. Well, my question is like a follow-up to the earlier question. That is to say, with the special election coinciding with the referendum, and the material the Honorable Commissioner just talked about are not available yet for distribution, like he said. So how well or how soon do we expect to be able to reach out to our people? Because there's like a dual situation right here. You have the civil and voter education, civic and voter education on the way, and you also have a situation where you have to create an awareness to elaborate people concerning how to vote in the referendum, because they are going competently. So how soon will the material be ready for us to reach to our people, elaborate people? Thank you.
Thank you. You said you mean Amara Fubana?
That's correct.
Okay, I did not say the materials are not ready. I only spoke about a timeline, and we have people, when we put people in the field, when you see them, we will have the materials. When we go out for CVE or consultation on the SSE and the referendum, these things will be available. You start seeing banners and other stuff around. Normally we follow timelines, so either we have the materials here, and indeed we do. We can have them at the printers, we don't distribute them or get out until we're sure that we are following the timeline. So don't worry. How soon? Very soon.
Okay. My name is Sayuti from Edwards Radio. Firstly, we understand that we're putting for 17 million, and what we understood is that 2 years have already. Is it sufficient up to the point that we're launching this civic and voter education that you'll be able to be on your task to do this? Secondly, the information we've been getting, things I've been seeing, which relates strictly to pre-campaign activities. Do you want to speak to that, and what are you doing about this? And then the change of location for people to go and update and all that. What is the difference between that one and the trucking we used to hear about?
A lot of things that you put in what appears to be a nutshell. But we have some of our technicians here who will also help us out, and commissioners. I think your first question has to do with,
It's
17 million.
that you have received so far?
whether it's sufficient to run the affairs. Is that what he said?
Because of the reduction.
Okay, the 13.5 is sufficient, I say that. It's sufficient to run the VRU, the special sanitary elections, and the referendum. If you want to know why it was reduced, initially we had planned to conduct a voter roll update by opening all of our 2018 precincts. But we re-strategized and said that the plan now should be to go mobile. That means we have teams moving from one location to the other. So that's our justification of why the 17.6 was reduced to 13.5. With respect to, I think it's a pre-campaign, and what are we doing about it?
Yeah.
Okay, the Elections Commission is in a position to speak to issues as they arise. So I would like for our technician, Mr. Gabi, to speak to the issue of pre-campaigning as the journalist has asked.
You want to mount the podium?
Yeah, let's come there.
Please.
As you know, the National Elections Commission has guidelines and regulations besides the statute, which is the election law, and also the question of the Constitution, which also gave us some leverage in terms of authority. Our guidelines specifically on the issue of campaigning is clear, and we normally communicate that to political parties, informing them as to when campaign starts. But interestingly, something is happening here. We're having two things that are working together. You have the referendum, and you have the special senatorial election. Normally, when we do the elections by itself, we go for nomination, make sure that candidates are well satisfied, and then before we declare the campaign open. In this case, it's not the situation because the referendum is also on the side. So when they come to the election itself, we have not declared anything open for the election because nominations are in advance, not taking place. Similarly, a referendum, what we do in referendum is to firstly make sure that the questions are set, symbols and everything ready, and then parties will come in on the basis of some people maybe put some poster up or they have been campaigning for something, and I think the commission have been taking notes and trying to make sure that you wait for the appropriate time before proceeding. But again, the political parties as well as a right, or any party for that matter, or any voter for that matter, complain to this commission on any activities that are taking place contrary to what the commission has promulgated. So in that case, if you have any specific case of somebody campaigning, once it is brought to the commission knowledge, I'm sure action can be taken.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, and the last question.
Thank you so very, very much. You know, sometimes several activities, electoral activities can take place. They look like campaigns sometimes, but our laws are not referring to those. You may, I'm aware, have seen primaries going on. When people do primaries, they be very akin to campaigning. You call it pre-campaign, but people have to be primaries. So we don't want you to be mindful when we talk about pre-campaigning. You know, we want the primaries to look like that. Even conventions may look like that. So, with respect to the referendum, and we're talking about the referendum, sometimes you know, when you do special senatorial election or you do the election, people are promoting individuals. When you do referendum, people are promoting issues. And sometimes it's easy for people to quickly move to support an issue. And you can find it out there. However, we have regulations that are done in place pre-primaries with campaigning. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Councilor Morgan Hall. I'm just adding on to what my previous colleagues of the board have said for the purpose of additional clarity for our civic partners. We look at privileges here and we also look at rights. Is anybody's privilege to desire a certain thing? To desire a certain outcome, to see the way happens, and wants to be their privilege there. But it's also where you have governance and you have structure that will determine how much priorities are addressed to these privileges for which it is broken down and summarized into the necessary that the majority of the people will go and exercise their franchise to work. However, you asked about people doing pre-campaigning and amidst referendum activities and things that have been formally launched by NEC. But we also want to have you caution people and caution them that whatever is decided as the timeline and those that are defined as per those activities or those interventions that will be attached to these relevant and constitutional purposes will be placed and certified by NEC for them to proceed within accordance with the law. So we are doing everything possible and everything within the ambit of the law to ensure that these processes are worked with in accordance with the procedure of the law. Thank you.
And then on that last question, with respect to after the voter registration process of 2017, we had Liberians that have moved from one location to the other. And you talk about the issue of trucking. So I would say that all Liberians have the right to relocate. The NEC has the mandate to register all Liberians wherever they are. The issue of trucking has not happened. Therefore, we cannot speak to an issue that has not happened. And when it does happen, we will take that under advisement and make a decision moving forward. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is James Gude Flomo. I report for Spoon FM and Spoon TV. Basically, I want to ask on two issues. One has to do with the National Elections Commission preparedness ahead of the special senatorial elections. We're looking at the two major political parties in the country. They have been involved into violence. We saw what happened in Clarendon. We also saw what happened in Grand Gillette County. What is your preparedness? What are you doing to avoid some of these things? Because we're looking at you. You currently have the country in your palm. That is, you can decide whether we should go back to where we came from a few years ago or we should forge ahead. And next again, my next question has to do with this issue. People keep talking about the voter education. That is what you just launching today. The number you call, the 100 plus. These people are ready enough for this country. Looking at the time, we left with like a few months to December 8th. The number is enough to provide education for the people?
You asked the question whether in fact the NEC is prepared, and you made reference to some issues that are happening around the country. We are not in control of that. What we're in control of is our planning process. At this point, we can tell you that we have done everything possible to get on course, and we are going forward to hold the update on the 11th of September, which will end on the 25th of September. So we are prepared. On the issue of CVE and the fact that you say the number is limited with respect to how great the job is to do CVE during a short period of time, I can say to you that this is what we have in terms of what we can afford, and other organizations can take up the mantle to do civic and voter education. However, those of you who are here, the Commission is responsible to ensure that that happens. Probably in the future, the number will increase, but it also based on what's in your pocket.